by asking you why you decided to run for Attorney General.
Look, I think the office of Attorney General and the Attorney General himself is the most impactful position in state government today. And I say that with complete respect to my friends on both sides of the aisle and in other positions. But I think that when you look at the big issues facing us today, the Attorney General is in a unique position to be able to address them. Whether it's restoring integrity and fairness to our justice system, whether it's combating illegal guns in our communities, which I know is an issue here in Reading, whether it's dealing with the heroin and opioid epidemic, which is claiming more lives than anything else across the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, whether it's protecting those who often don't have a voice in the system, our seniors who are scammed, our veterans who are scammed, people who are price gouged by pharmaceutical companies and others. We've got to make sure we have an Attorney General who fights for them. So I call that being the people's Attorney General. It's something I've been talking about the whole campaign, something I've got a track record of doing. And it's something that I want to do for the people of Pennsylvania as their Attorney General. And again, I just think it is the most impactful position. And having been an executive for some time now, leading Pennsylvania's third largest government, I know how to make tough decisions. I know how to implement systems to get results, and I'm looking forward to, God willing, having the opportunity to do that for the people of Pennsylvania as their Attorney General.
Have you practiced law? I know that.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah. So, just by way of background, I began my career literally the day after law school. I went to Capitol Hill in Washington and became at the age of 23 the youngest chief of staff on Capitol Hill. And while doing that, my wife and I put me through law school at night at Georgetown Law School. And after completing law school and working on Capitol Hill in those senior positions for 9 years, I came home to the community that I grew up in Montgomery County, and took a job at a law firm in the city of Philadelphia. In addition to that, practiced law and ran for the State House of Representatives. I served 7 years in the House of Representatives while simultaneously doing my private legal practice. I was a leader on the House Judiciary Committee. I was the chairman of the Speaker's Commission on Legislative Reform, where we enacted more reforms than a political generation has seen in Harrisburg. After 7 years serving in that capacity, excuse my hoarse voice, after 7 years serving in that capacity, I ran for and was successful in my bid to become Montgomery County Commission Chairman. I became the first Democrat to lead our county in 150 years. Obviously oversee a lot there, including the law department. Our county government is 4 times larger than the Office of Attorney General. So I've proven, I mean, you folks cover this on a weekly basis, the meetings that we have in the county. I think I've proven by every objective measure that I've turned things around in the county. And while doing all this work, in addition to working my private legal practice at the law firm of Stradley Ronan, where I've been for more than a decade, I'm also the chairman of the Pennsylvania Commission on Crime and Delinquency, and in that capacity have worked closely with communities all across Pennsylvania to protect the rights of victims, to make communities safer, to implement programs that ultimately help those communities be strengthened and get the help they need, whether it's forming a child advocacy center, dealing with illegal guns in our community, protecting the rights of sexual abuse victims. These are the kinds of things that I've worked on in that capacity.